Hi, my name is Meg, and you're watching You Can Ask That. Here's our panel talking about moving out of home and starting work. On this topic, we do have a few questions that were sent in earlier. The first one is, what was the hardest thing about living with type 1 diabetes when you were 18 years old?
Getting it. I got it at 18, so I don't know about you guys, if you were diagnosed like when you were late. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was the hardest bit for me, was literally getting it. And so going to 18th and just having it, not knowing really what insulin was and having it, yeah, that was the hardest bit for me. And trying to sort of do the whole year 12 thing and partying and have fun and do that kind of stuff, while also trying to juggle a chronic illness and being like, oh, I have a lifelong condition now. Yeah, it was.
I think for me it was just organization, like making sure you're ready to be away for a night, or like, you have backup insulin, because just organization in general underlined, like,
being
that
more of an adult.
The hardest thing about being 18 and diabetic for me, because mum and dad wouldn't do it, so you had it was hard
for sure.
Probably for me was actually going from child healthcare to adult healthcare, because it seemed to be something that I needed to be more involved in, which was a little bit scary. And I think actually realizing now, as I grow older and things, is that you can actually choose your healthcare team, and that's something that was foreign to me at the time. And I think we've all had health professionals, and it's not a health professional's fault, and it's not your fault, just sometimes personalities don't mix. And being able to choose who you can communicate effectively with and who you feel is really on your side about things and you can be open and honest with is something that became really important to me. So choosing my healthcare team and using them as almost like a toolkit for when I need them around particular questions and things. That's kind of how I start to visualize now that team.
So our next question is a really interesting one about applying for work. So at what stage of applying for a job should I say that I have type 1 diabetes?
My personal opinion with this is you let your workplace know when you have the job, because that's what I've done every single time, from when I worked at a supermarket to now my professional job. I just say, hey, I have this, I'll need to have jelly beans by the register, or I'm a teacher now, so I'll have them in my pencil case, and this may happen. And I find that employers really value that clear, honest communication. You don't have to write, my name is Kyle and I have type 1 diabetes on your CV, because it's just a condition. I
did write that on my CV.
But yeah, that's how I have mostly dealt with it.
I obviously wrote it on my CV, but that said, it didn't disadvantage me in any way. Every job I wanted to get that I thought I was at least half skilled to do, I got. Yeah. So
think of the skills you have by having type 1 as well. You have so many more skills than people your age. The difference between some of the campers on camp and then some of the campers are people the same age that I work with. You guys have such an amazing set of skills that you've been using for years.
Yeah.
I think if you're nervous about letting an employer know, the other side of that is that a workplace that you actually want to be working in? Because you have to remember, a job interview isn't just them interviewing you, it's you finding out if that's a supportive workplace that you want to have your job in or your career in. On the other side of that, if you do share that you have type 1 diabetes and a workplace isn't happy about it, it might be that there is actually a legal issue with that employer, and you can take that up. But also, if it states in your contract that you must tell them if you have any pre-existing medical conditions, that's on you to let them know, because some jobs really do require you to let them know.
It depends on the job, but again, ring Diabetes Victoria. There's lots of sort of different, they can help you out. I know I freaked out with my first professional contract. I was like, but it's really legitimately what I was like. But again, really important that you tell the people that you're working with, because it's no fun for anyone if you don't. And you probably won't need their help, but if you do, they're there to help you and they're perfectly happy to.
Yeah, great advice, guys. The next question is around driving, which I know is really relevant to a lot of people who have diabetes. And they're asking, what can I do to make sure I'm prepared for hypos while driving?
Hypo treatment in the car.
Yeah,
That's the first one.
glove box, fill it up.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to use a Melways. No one has a map book anymore. That space is negative. Fill it up.
The standard guideline is to say you must be above 5 to drive. And that's kind of like their little catch slogan that people use. And if you feel like your sugar levels have been a little bit rocky and roller coasting over the next few hours and you've got a long car drive ahead or even a short one, it might just be worth saying, hey, I'm running 30 minutes late, and let things stabilize, because at the end of the day, it's your health and it's your life that's on the line.
And also in the car, it's not just you. It's people on the road. It's like your responsibility is far greater than just yourself in that scenario. So you do need to do your best to be switched on.
Yeah. It is also really important that when you do get your license, if you're Victorian, which is assuming you are, because you're tuning into a Diabetes Victoria thing, you need to every 2 years go to the doctor and just have them sign off. Literally just that, I can see and I have good, I can reach everything and I have good decision-making strategies, just so they know. Because if you get into an accident and you haven't told anyone, it's dangerous to everyone else around you. It's dangerous for you. But it's hypo treatment. Hypo treatment, 5 to drive. You're pretty good.
I really like this next question we've had come in. So what are some of your favorite convenient snack ideas?
Like hypo snacks or just general snacks?
It just says snacks, but we can do both.
I love for hypos those little fruit bars you get from like Coles or Woolies, and they're 15 grams of, they're perfect, like 17 grams of carbs, full of sugar, and they don't melt or anything, and so you just chuck them all in your car or you chuck them in like wherever, and they just stay good forever. So they're my favorite hypo snack. Generally rice crackers.
I have to say I'm a little bit of an oddball. Whenever I choose a hypo snack or something to have while I'm having a low sugar level, I choose something that I hate eating, because then I know I'm not going to snack on it throughout the day. So I'm sorry, I love your outfit today, but I do not like jelly beans.
I also hate jelly beans though, because I have 10 years of diabetes. I was like, I'm done, which is why I've done the fruit ones now. So maybe in like 10 years wearing a fruit bar dress.
And that just makes me make sure that I'm not doing naughty snacks all the time of, the convenience jelly beans that's in my glove box.
Mine's like, if we're talking hypo food, Solo every time. I have a slab of Solo in the kitchen. I have almost half a slab in the car, just strewn throughout every little hidey hole. It's the best because it's like easy to drink. Just down, it does its job, and then you can get on with what you need to get.
Very quick acting. Yeah.
I prefer to drink hypo treatment. I don't really like chewing on jelly beans.
Yeah, cool. So the next question, I feel like Loui, you sort of talked about this a little bit before, and it's, I don't really get along with my doctor. How can I organize my own medical appointments? My parents usually do this for me.
I think for the first part, if you're not getting along with your doctor and you're finding that your diabetes management is actually suffering also from not getting along with that said doctor, or you don't feel empowered by the space, have a discussion with possibly your parents if you're below the age of 18 and things, or if you're not too, it's your decision. And try to go and find another doctor. You can choose your medical team. And I think that's a really important thing that I never understood. And I want to make sure that everyone watching this webinar doesn't make those same mistakes. You can choose your health professionals. It's not that you get put into a system and you're forever with those team. It's not like that. You've got choice in Australia.
100%. I jumped around to endos and diabetes educators so much. And like, we have a friend in common. We had the same educator. She doesn't get along with that educator. I love that educator. So it really just depends on, you guys. And for the appointment making, phone calls are not as hard as you think. They're okay. Call them up. Sometimes I would write like a little script. I'd be like, hello, my name is Georgie. I would like to speak to so-and-so, please, and make an appointment. Once it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Just do it.
Yeah. I agree. I have nothing to add to that. It was brilliant. Good job.
Thanks for watching. If you want to hear more from Georgie, Loui and Kyle, check out the Diabetes Victoria YouTube channel.